God knows your name too. There's a song we took earlier, but I want us to take prayerfully again. All I want.
Draw me close to you. Never let me go. I'll lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm your friend. You are my
that God will be sufficient for you.
Amen.
That your hope will be in Him.
Amen.
Your absolute and total dependency to be on your Creator.
Amen.
Father, this morning I just reintroduce your children to you. I reintroduce them to you as a friend. I reintroduce you to them as an enduring and everlasting Father. Sometimes it doesn't feel as if we can touch you. And we tend to depend on the people that we can really, really touch. But there's a way you remind the people you love by touching their hearts and showing them that you are still there. Lord, show these ones that you are there.
Amen.
Let them feel you.
Amen.
Let them touch you.
Amen.
Be unto us, Lord, that which nobody else can be.
Amen.
Ever faithful, never changing God. Let your word be heard. Let it be understood.
Amen.
Let us leave this sanctuary this morning wanting to be your friend again.
Amen.
Let our hearts be softened.
Amen.
But in it all, let our joy be full.
Amen.
Let your name be glorified.
Amen.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you, Claire. It's okay if you want to preach with me. This morning I want to talk to you about enduring friendship. What did I say? Enduring friendship. And I want to ask you a question first. Do you have a friend? Maybe I should ask slowly. Do you really have a friend? I'm saying this because I know of the fact that there are not too many people that can boast of having healthy, progressive friends. And it's not your fault if you don't have a friend. Good friends are very difficult to come by. Even the people, as I speak, that you are imagining are your friends. The ones that I know instantly when I said you have friends, some picture flashed through your mind. Even those ones, they may be your friends now because their friendship has not been tested. They have not seen you fail. They have not been around you when you fell. The guys or the women that came to your mind have not been there when everybody else was running away from you. When you became tainted or rejected or uninterested. The so-called friends you think you have now have not seen the backside of your progress. Until they have experienced all this and they still hang with you, then you can say you have a friend. I came to a conclusion a very long time ago. That if any man on earth has 2 or 3 great enduring friends, he's a blessed person. And you will see why I'm saying this at the end of this sermon. Enduring friendship is hard. And that was why I was so excited when Jesus Christ called me a friend. It was such a touching statement. It may seem ordinary, but it was such a deep thing when he said, "No longer do I call you servants, but friends." Our sermon last week was titled what? Help from above. The goal of that sermon was to remind you that you need to constantly depend on God and God alone. So before I talk about enduring friendship today, I must sound a note of warning, because I want to encourage you to have friends, to become a good friend. That's what I'm trying to do today. But before I do that, I must sound a note of warning. No friendship must take the place of Jesus Christ in your heart. No friendship. No matter how much I make you feel warm and cozy at the end of this sermon about friendship, no single friendship must take the place of Jesus Christ in your heart. I understand why I'm saying this, because from a very little age we have a tendency to have an intense dependency on friends. It started from a very little age. play with me, I don't play with you, and all that crap. It goes on continuously into our adulthood. It's an almost compulsive need to have a friend. And some of you know what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong, friendship is great. I mean, that's why I'm preaching a sermon on it. But when you depend too much on people, you are setting yourself up for a lot of pain. Why? Because friendship can be intensely intimate and intensely painful. Both comes with it. It's a package. It can be extremely satisfying and gratifying. But anything that gratifies you when taken away abruptly will cause you pain. That's why the Bible said in Proverbs 18 verse 19 that a brother offended is harder to win than a strong city. It's a pain that every pastor that is truly committed to his congregation feels over and over and over again when he forms a friendship with people and they just walk away from him. It's a natural pain. And that's why you find out a lot of people have learned to guard their hearts. They look at you straight in the head and conceal their heart because of that numerous pain. Can you imagine the pain of our Lord Jesus Christ when Judas betrayed him? Someone he traveled with for 3 years, he ate with, he slept with, he woke up with, he did everything, and then one day he just decided to betray him. So I'm putting that note of warning this morning, first of all, because friendship can end in a disaster. You must constantly be reminded that your hope of joy hangs on no friendship. Hello? Your hope of joy hangs on no friendship except the friendship of who? Jesus Christ. You must always remind yourself that. Even in marriage, you must say this. Even in marriage, I wish there could be more friendship in marriage. I wish couples could be more friends than lovers. And I'm pretty sure that half of the divorces in America will not happen. But even in marriage, your hope of joy should not be in your spouse. I love my wife, I adore her to death. I mean, it's a given. Yes, she makes waking up in the morning easy. It's the truth. But then, even as at that, she's not my source of hope. Because I have a friend that sticks closer than a brother. I have a friend who's the lover of my soul. She's the lover of my body. But I have a friend who's the lover of my soul. And that is the one I put my hope and joy in. Having said this, having given you a background and warned you, everybody needs a good friend. Everybody. And I pray that in your time of need you will not be alone. Amen. I pray that in your time of need, when you stretch your hand, you'll be able to touch somebody that will touch you back. Amen. Because when you don't have support, it can be very painful. Paul, as holy as he was and as committed to service as he was very, very hot when he had no support. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 16. It was pretty hot. It says, at first defense, no one stood with me, but all forsook me. May it not be charged against them. But God stood with him. God will stand with you. Amen. In verse 17, it says, but the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, so that the message might be preached fully through me, and that all the Gentiles might hear. The Lord will deliver you from the mouth of lions. Amen. So the goal of this sermon is to encourage healthy friendship. That's the goal. A friendship that can endure any form of test, any form of barrage. Like I said earlier, if this kind of friendship exists between husband and wife, we will not have divorces. We will not have separation. We put too much emphasis on this hot love. And hot love grows cold. But friendship endures. So what is enduring friendship? It is a friendship that will be unaffected by changes in circumstances and perception over a long period of time. It will be unaffected by changes in circumstances. You are poor, you are rich, no matter, it doesn't matter. You are healthy, you are sick, it doesn't matter. And then it doesn't affect, even as your perception changes, it doesn't deter the friendship over a long period of time. Enduring, lasting. Proverbs 17 verse 17 says, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So what are the qualities that you must expect? What are the qualities that you must expect in this so-called enduring friendship? What are the things that you must see, the things you must look out for? Number one, there must be loyalty in friendship. Everybody say loyalty. Loyalty. Loyalty is one thing you can't buy. I know politicians try to pay for it. But at the end of the day, nobody knows what happens in that secret box when you're alone. Loyalty is something you can't buy. Howard Hughes, we all know him, was the eccentric billionaire. At the time that Howard Hughes was worth $4 billion, this was many years ago, he made a statement. He said he would have gladly exchanged every dollar for one good friend. That's the value of a friend. Because a good friend loves you at all times, good or bad. A good friend loves you when you are popular and when you are not. When people walk away from you because you made a mistake, good friends walk towards you. They support you. Loyalty in friendship is not circumstantial. It's not based on circumstances. A very good example is Jonathan, his friendship towards David. The Bible says in 1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 1, it says, now when he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. I want to understand one thing this morning, church. You may think, because you have so much information about David, you may think that David was the one here that had the advantage of friendship. No. At this time, Jonathan had everything to lose by cultivating friendship with David. He was even about to lose his throne. That friendship would have cost him the throne. At that time, David was a nobody. He was an ordinary farm boy. He was a nobody. He was an ordinary shepherd boy. A one-time success. He was a fluke. There was no guarantee that he could do it again. He had just done one fantastic thing. But Jonathan was a prince. Jonathan was born with a golden spoon in his mouth. Jonathan was royalty. He had everything. And yet, because he saw the anointing on David and he saw the hand of God on him, they were tied together in friendship. Jonathan defended David despite the way his father felt about him. And that's what loyalty will make you do. A loyal friend will be willing to sacrifice in defense of his friends. That's what a loyal friend will do. They will do anything to defend you, including giving up their life, including giving up their pride, including giving up their everything to defend a friend. That's why Jesus Christ said in John chapter 15, verse 13. It says, greater love has no man than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. That's what friends do. Maybe I should ask again, can you still boast of 3 friends? Even your husband and wife, they will not lay their lives for you. There's a limit to which they can sacrifice for you. Number 2, there must be freedom in friendship. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4b. It says, love does not envy. What do I mean by freedom in friendship? A true friend must allow you to be friends with other people. It sounds like middle school stuff, you know? You know, in middle school, if you talk to Jane or you go out to watch a movie with Jane and you didn't take me, there's a problem. Now Jane is your friend, you can speak with Jane. But it's happening with adults. A true friend must allow you to be friends with other people. 1 John 15, verse 15, Jesus Christ called us a friend. But he's not threatened when we have other friends. You shouldn't be threatened. Are you following me? The fact that you went out to a movie with kids doesn't mean I won't talk to you again. Or you prefer kids to me, that's why you went out. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4, he says, love does not parade itself. A real friend does not parade themselves. They don't want all your attention. Real friends don't have a need to entertain each other either. You know what I mean by entertain? When real friends sit down, they can sit down quietly. When real friends sit down, they don't have to entertain. If I get home and I have to tell my wife, let me or something, so that she can be excited or, I mean, the reason why, when friends have to entertain each other, that's when they step into the area of gossip. Because when their friendship is based on what's going on, what's happening, there has to be some form. No, entertainment is not necessarily constantly in friendship. Quietly, in peace, and they are still related. Friends don't have to see themselves every year. Whenever they come together again, they pick up right where it was. You should not panic when friendship slows down in intensity. No friendship maintains the same level of intensity all the time. If it's a real friendship, that's the freedom of friendship. Freedom. You don't oh, I haven't called her in 2 days. I have to call her. No. If it's a real friend, they know you are thinking of them, even when you're not talking to them. Number 3, there must be honesty in friendship. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 6. Love does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Real friends are honest with each other. That's the truth. Let me tell you how I know if a woman has real friends. When I see some women wear some things and they are walking around thinking they are cool, I know they don't have friends. Because if they have a real friend, they'll like, oh boy, this one, don't be your type. That's the truth. Only real friends will tell you your mouth is thinking. Only real friends will tell you the truth. Only real friends will tell you the bottom line. They will rebuke you to make you better. Proverbs 27 verse 9. It says, ointment and perfume delight the heart. It says, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hurting counsel. Truthful counsel comes from a good friend. Real friends will rebuke you to change you. Proverbs 27 verse 6a. It says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. It may wound you, but it will heal you. Occasionally, the advice of a good friend will be unpleasant. If you have a good friend or you have a supposedly good friend and all they tell you are sweet talk, you better stay sweet. Because if your sweetness goes, they will disappear. When somebody is fully invested in you, everybody say fully invested. Yes. When you are fully invested in somebody, it's not a catch and go, it's not a one-time thing, it's not a passing relationship. You are totally involved in their totality, in their personality and what they come out to be. So if they are heading the wrong way, you will tell them why, because at the end of the journey, you are still going to be there with them, in their pit. The reason why you don't tell everybody the full truth in friendship is because you know they are passing. Down the road, I will not know you. I will not be around you when you fall. The reason why we tell our children the truth is that when we are old and gray, they will still be our children. So if you have a friend who is always telling you what you want to hear, it's because you are a fleeting friend, a passing away. You will soon be on current. The person, they will move to the next current happening person when your time is gone. Your time will not go. Amen. But there must be honesty between friends. Number 4, there must be a spiritual connection between friends. You must be spiritually yoked together. If you worship the devil, it will be helpful to have friends that are in the same worship with you. That's when you get the benefit. Wake up at 12 midnight together and go and do your sacrifice. Hand in hand. But if you serve God, if you submit to the Lordship of our Lord Jesus Christ, it's better to have friends that have the same spiritual yoking with you. Are you with me? Real friends grow together spiritually. Jesus Christ said in John chapter 15 verse 14, he says, you are my friend if you do whatever I command you. Your voice and the voice of your friends must agree. You can't be serving two different gods and you say you have a good friend. You can't. Your best friend cannot be serving the devil and you are serving God. It's either you're not friends or one of you is not serving the other God. You cannot serve both. A friendship built on the blood of Jesus and sustained by God the Father is a friendship that will endure and weather all storms. Do you still have 3 friends? Can you boast that tomorrow you can call 3 people and say they have all these qualities and they're yours. If you have those kind of friends, you are a blessed person. It's a rare thing. If you don't, God will give to you. Amen. Because everybody needs good friends. Everybody needs good relationships. Let me give you some facts. Be careful to choose your friends, but be more careful to change them. When you find a faithful friend, keep them. Proverbs 20 verse 6 says, most men will proclaim each other's own goodness, but who can find a faithful friend? If you happen to be one of those few people in this sanctuary this morning who can boast of 3 solid friends, like I have said, go back home today and call them. Maintain that kind of relationship because you are special with God. It's a rare thing to have faithful friends. Choose them very carefully, but when you find one, keep them. Just like I'll tell couples, choose who you are going to marry very carefully, but when you marry them, be married. Once carried, always carried. Another fact is this: keep friends in the family. The Bible says, if a man was good to your father, he will be good to you. I didn't say Proverbs 27 verse 10. It says, do not forsake your own friends or your father's friends. If a man was good to your father and they were friends for 40 years, that man will be good to you. There's a heritage of friendship. One person who's accustomed to friendship does not just drop it like that. Do you need friends? Then show yourself friendly. Be a friend and you will have friends. Proverbs 18 verse 24. A man who has friends must himself be friendly. Finally, friendship requires work and commitment. It is work. It is work to maintain a relationship. It is work to remind yourself of the voice of your friend. Sometimes you wake up on a Sunday morning and you don't feel like coming to church. You are coming because you want to hear the voice of your friend. You want to reconnect to the spirit that controls you. Friendship requires work. If you are lazy, you cannot have friends. And if you are lazy, you cannot have faithful friends. Because when it's your turn to hold on to the ball, you will drop the ball. God, our Lord Jesus Christ says you are his friend. And he's working day and night for your goodness. God is working day and night to make you whole. If you don't do as much work to retaliate, your friendship cannot hold. The difference between going to a casual church or go to a church where your life is sort of controlled is that in doing that, somebody is making you do the required work to maintain friendship. Because work and friendship go together. Even in your home, if you don't work on your relationship, it will die. Let's talk about somebody who lives miles away. Let me close. Let me give you some very categorical statements as I close. Jesus is the very best friend you can have. He is. Because he's the only friend that will stay with you unconditionally. How did I come to that conclusion? Number one, he's interested in me and not what I can do for him. The best friends you can have in the world are not waiting to be settled because you did something for them. No. They just want to do for you, and it must be reciprocated. He's interested in you. You don't have to do anything before he loves you. But he is expecting you not to expect anything from him before you love him in return. He's not my friend because I'm born again. He was my friend when I was born. And I was running around crazy. He was my friend. He loved me while I was yet a sinner. He never feels it. He never feels threatened. And is willing for me to have other friends. That's why I know he loves me. He doesn't say, no, it's all about me. No. He gives you the freedom to have other friends. In exactly a few hours now, maybe 1 o'clock, I'll be NFL. Yeah, he gives me the freedom to do that. I give to him his own time. He gives me my own time. Is that kind of a friend? He's not threatened. He won't bang me at 1:30 and say, why are you not praying? No, it's NFL time. That way he is. He's the loving God. He does not walk away when I'm in trouble. He doesn't walk away because I messed up. He brings a solution. He has promised never to leave me or to forsake me. That's why he's the best friend. As we bow our heads this morning, I want to ask you, is there anyone here who needs a friend like this? Is there anyone here this morning who needs a friend like Jesus? And you cannot boast that is your friend. Maybe one thing I didn't tell you is that friends know themselves. If you are his friend, he knows you. If he's your friend, you know him. If you are here this morning and you don't know him, it's an opportunity to make the best friend you'll ever have. He doesn't force you. He just simply asks you to say yes. It says in Revelation 3:20 that I am at the door knocking. And I will keep knocking until you yourself open. And I will come in and dine with you. Are you here this morning? You want to open your hearts to him? Just wave your hands at me. You want to open your hearts to him? You want him to come into your life as your friend? As your best friend? You want to know him like we all know him? You want him to uphold you and to sustain you. Are you here this morning? That is your prayer. Just wave your hands at me and I'll pray with you. Is anybody here this morning who's saying, come into my life. Come in today. Come in to stay. Come and be the lover of my soul. Come and be my heart and my solution. Are you here this morning? Are you here this morning that you want to accept him as your Lord and Savior? I want us to pray as a church. Maybe for some reason or the other, your friendship has been tainted. Maybe you are here this morning and your friendship has been one-sided. He loves you more than you love him. Maybe you are here this morning and you are selfish in your friendship. All you want is what you can get from him, and you give nothing in return. I want you to change your status. Change your heart. And ask him for mercy. And ask him back into your life. Promise that you will do your bit in this relationship. That you will work all things out to remain a faithful friend. Heavenly Father, we thank you, even for those people who have prayed that prayer this morning, those who know genuinely in their hearts that their friendship with you has been one-sided. You have provided all things for them, but the very little things that you have given them, they are unwilling to share with you. They are unwilling to share their resources. They are willing to share their spouses. They are willing to share their children. They are willing to share their time for you. Lord, I pray that you will minister to each and every one of them. Amen. And let our hearts know of the fact that there's nothing that we have that did not come from you. And unto you all things must return. Let us, O Lord God Almighty, bless you with what you have blessed us with. Let us work on our friendship that will be truly called your friends. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.